Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Overtime. We have two stories. One is at least a day old. However, we were so preoccupied with Epstein yesterday that we didn't get to it. It's an important one, though. A judge found that Texas's redistricting plan was racist and illegal, and has told them that they have to use their old districting plan for the up until the next census and for the midterm election. So he has vetoed their their redistricting. Now, they had been asked by Trump himself to redistrict. He asked Governor Abbott to redistrict them so that 5 of their Democratic seats would turn into Republican seats, thereby helping to insulate and hopefully, in their mind, retain the Republican majority, which they have by such a slim margin. In response to that, Governor Newsom decided that if they redistrict, which they did decide to do, he would put redistricting to a vote in California and ask the people if they wanted to redistrict as well to regain those 5 seats back. That was voted on, it passed, and they are, I believe, still in the process now of redistricting such to get those 5 votes. It goes before a committee, they have an entire process, so on and so forth. Having said that, it looks like their redistricting plan, at least so far, is probably legal. What that means is, instead of getting 5 Republican votes out of Texas, which was Donald Trump's intention, it now looks like, or seats, it now looks like they will get 5 Democratic seats out of Texas instead. Now, this is obviously going to be appealed, and then eventually it's going to get to the Supreme Court. If it gets to the Supreme Court in time, which it probably won't, so it'll end up on the shadow docket, and we're going to go through the whole rigmarole. It's going to be interesting to see how the Supreme Court handles this one. Having said that, as of this moment, the plan to gain 5 Republican seats through Texas has backfired and ended up in an additional 5 Democratic seats through California. Multiple other states are talking about redistricting. It's going to be a thing. But in light of so much other news, we figured that would be worth talking about. So, yeah, California at least put it to the people and appears to have done it legally, and certainly it was not based on racial profiling, which the Texas one very much was. So probably violated Title II and any number of other issues. Having said that, the main story today is and we've talked about this, and Marjorie Taylor Greene, who has suddenly had a change of heart and is saying the rhetoric needs to be toned down, and she's receiving death threats from MAGA, and I have no doubt she is. When she says that, I don't think she's engaged in hyperbole. This is the crew that ran an insurrection on January 6th and stormed and broke into Capitol Hill. 5 Capitol Police ended up dead. They're threatening her for betraying them. Who would have guessed? Having said that, obviously, she's been calling for toning down the rhetoric, and we wholeheartedly agree, but the rhetoric problem has been really far more coming from that side. At any rate, we now have a couple days ago, the Democrats from the Senate came out with a video. Apparently, and we're going to get into the genesis of this video in a minute, but apparently one of the senators, former member of intelligence, has felt that she has been getting a lot of contact from currently serving members saying that they believe that the attacks in the Caribbean are illegal. They are correct. The strikes are illegal. It's murder. They are striking civilian ships. They are striking unarmed ships. And as of this moment, we have not yet been able to confirm that even a single ship was a drug trafficking or human trafficking ship, as Trump said, as his excuse for this anyway, which would not, by the way, have made it legal, because it would still be civilian. But even his justification, illegal as it is, doesn't appear to hold water, so to speak. So apparently a number of servicemen have been feeling like they have to follow these orders, but that they're illegal and they don't know what to do. So that ostensibly was why they made this video. It's a short video. We will play it for you in just a minute. Trump was not pleased with the video and took to Truth Social today and said, quote, seditious behavior punishable by death. It's called seditious behavior at the highest level. Each of these traitors, he is referring to Democratic senators, to our country should be arrested and put on trial. Hang them, George Washington would. All right. This is the President of the United States calling for the hanging of 6 Democratic senators. Now, I have some problems, to be honest, with the video. My central problem is not their central problem. Their central problem is BS. Essentially, what they say is, don't follow illegal orders. That's the first rule they learn in basic. They cannot follow illegal orders. So for a bunch of senators to make a video saying that, they're not saying anything new. So if that's the seditious part, Trump's got a problem. So at any rate, Lindsey Graham has said that those comments were, quote, over the top, though he called the video despicable. Rand Paul from Kentucky said, quote, or that he didn't think that it was, quote, a really good idea to talk about jailing your political opponents or hanging them or whatever else. No shit. Now, Trump has engaged in significant rhetoric before. He's engaged in this kind of rhetoric before. That's a problem because he's normalized it. What we have now is a situation, however, where he is calling on a group that has already committed violence and whom he's pardoned for all of their violence, calling on them to... let me rephrase, it's, will no one rid me of this senator? He's calling on someone to do something about them. So let's see what this video was. And give me a sec. I remember now the audio, for whatever reason, does not always come through well for you guys. So let me up the audio and we will play this clip.
I'm Senator Alyssa Slotkin.
Senator Mark Kelly.
Representative Chris Deluzio.
Congresswoman Maggie Goodlander.
Representative 𝐒𝐨𝐬𝐚𝐫.
Congressman Jason Crow. I was a captain in the United States Navy.
Former CIA officer.
Former Navy.
Former paratrooper and Army Ranger.
Former intelligence officer.
Former Air Force.
We want to speak directly to members of the military
And the intelligence community.
Who take risks each day
to keep Americans safe.
We know you are under enormous stress and pressure right now.
Americans trust their military.
But that trust is at risk.
This administration is pitting our uniformed military
And intelligence community professionals.
against American citizens.
like us. You all swore an oath.
To protect and defend this Constitution.
And right now, the threats to our Constitution aren't just coming from abroad,
But from right here at home.
Our laws are clear. You can refuse illegal orders.
You can refuse illegal orders.
You must refuse illegal orders.
No one has to carry out orders that violate the law.
Or our Constitution.
We know this is hard.
And that it's a difficult time to be a public servant.
But whether you're serving in the CIA,
The Army,
Our Navy,
The Air Force.
Your vigilance is critical.
and know that we have your back.
because now, more than ever,
The American people need you.
We need you to stand up for our laws.
our Constitution,
And who we are as Americans. Don't give up.
don't.
That is the video that has Donald Trump saying all of them should be hanged. It was organized by Senator Alyssa Slotkin of Michigan. She's a former CIA analyst who served in Iraq. and who has said that she has contacts who have been saying that the military is unusually stressed, that they believe they are being asked to violate the law, to violate the Constitution, and that they don't know how to refuse orders. And to some extent, I understand that because it's an uncommon thing and the chain of command is so sacrosanct. So we do have a downtime coming up with Commander Lance McMillan in an hour and 15 minutes, and I will ask him about that and show him the video. Speaker Mike Johnson denounced the video and said that it was the most egregious thing he had. Sorry. No. He said that there was nothing wrong with the video and that the Democrats were, quote, wildly inappropriate, and that the post of Donald Trump, that by seditious behavior punishable by death, Trump was simply defining the crime of sedition. That's all he was doing, and had done nothing wrong. That is Speaker of the House Mike Johnson saying that these posts are completely fine, and he sees nothing wrong with calling for the execution of members of the Senate. Johnson said later that he did not see the full scope of the comments, but that he said that the video was still inappropriate. We don't know if that means he's walking back. The White House itself has walked back a good deal of this. Trump has not. This is absolutely the President of the United States calling for the hanging of 6. And what they said, everything they said there was true. The part that bothers me, and there is a part that bothers me slightly, is they're like, well, you know, you have to protect from enemies here at home, too. That is an obvious reference to Trump. That is an obvious reference. So that is apolitical. Everything else in that message was apolitical. Don't follow illegal orders. We're just reminding you. Follow the Constitution. You work for the citizen. We're just everything else in that was apolitical, and in my view, just completely, just nothing wrong with it in any way whatsoever. If the Republicans did it, I might be during Obama's tenure. I'd probably laugh. I feel like that they're not being asked to do anything. What's the fine? That's just people. They're just. But it certainly isn't sedition. I'm really kind of speechless. We're now going to listen to Pam Bondi's reply. She was asked point blank, is Donald Trump calling for the execution of senators? Let's hear what she has to say.
President Trump accused 6 Democratic lawmakers of seditious behavior punishable by death. Just to be clear, does the president want to execute members of Congress?
No. Let's be clear about what the president is responding to, because many in this room want to talk about the president's response, but not what brought the president to responding in this way. You have sitting members of the United States Congress who conspired together to orchestrate a video message to members of the United States military.
I want to interrupt right here. I don't like interrupting these, but I would like to point out that she's using, while she said no, he's not calling for the, all right, we have this coming in, I guess. Democratic leaders have contacted the Capitol Police in regards to the social media posts. We'll get to that in just a second. Thank you. So she's using very charged language, conspired and this and that, none of which is appropriate language for this set of circumstances. It gets worse. Again, I didn't interrupt them. I feel like she should have a fair play. Let's play it.
To active duty service members, to members of the national security apparatus, encouraging them to defy the president's lawful orders.
I'm going to pause there. That is absolutely false. That is not what they said. They explicitly said defy illegal orders, which they are required by law to do, and they take an oath to do. All they said was follow the oath you've already taken. She is lying. And it's a problem because she's lying about A, very simple and clear thing, and B, something where the president is threatening to execute members of Congress. In fact, we're going to play that. Now that I've interrupted twice, we are going to play this again, but I want to remind you, you've just seen the video. They did not tell anyone to disobey a lawful order at all. They didn't even suggest it. And by the way, they're all former intelligence and military. We're going to play this from the beginning again.
This morning, President Trump accused 6 Democratic lawmakers of seditious behavior punishable by death. Just to be clear, does the president want to execute members of Congress?
No. Let's be clear about what the president is responding to, because many in this room want to talk about the president's response, but not what brought the president to responding in this way. You have sitting members of the United States Congress who conspired together to orchestrate a video message to members of the United States military, to active duty service members, to members of the national security apparatus, encouraging them to defy the president's lawful orders. The sanctity of our military rests on the chain of command. And if that chain of command is broken, it can lead to people getting killed. It can lead to chaos. And that's what these members of Congress who swore an oath to abide by the Constitution are essentially encouraging. We have 1.3 active duty service members in this country. And if they hear this radical message from sitting members of Congress, that could inspire chaos, and it could incite violence, and it certainly could disrupt the chain of command. These 3 members of Congress, I will also add, knew exactly what they were doing. You look at Slotkin. She's a former member of the CIA. Mark Kelly was a captain in the U.S. Navy. Maggie Goodlander was a naval officer, and notably, she is also the wife of Joe Biden's national security former advisor, Jake Sullivan. And so these members knew what they were doing. They were leading into their credentials as former members of our military, as veterans, as former members of the national security apparatus to signal to people serving under this commander-in-chief, Donald Trump, that you can defy him and you can betray your oath of office. That is a very, very dangerous message, and it perhaps is punishable by law. I'm not a lawyer. I'll leave that to the Department of Justice and the Department of War to decide.
But the president has
Chris,
frequently, but Caroline, can I just follow up? The president and the vice president, for that matter, have accused the other side of encouraging political violence. Isn't that exactly what the president is doing when he says that members of Congress should be killed?
Why aren't you talking about what these members of Congress are doing to encourage and incite violence? They are literally saying to 1.3 million active duty service members not to defy the chain of command, not to follow lawful orders.
Actually,
every single
can refuse an illegal order, which
but
is
they're suggesting, Nancy, that the president has given illegal orders, which he has not. Every single order that is given to this United States military by this commander-in-chief and through this chain of command, through the Secretary of War, is lawful. And the courts have proven that. This administration has an unparalleled record at the Supreme Court because we are following the laws. We don't defy court orders. We do things by the books. And to suggest and encourage that active duty service members defy the chain of command is a very dangerous thing for sitting members of Congress to do. And they should be held accountable. And that's what the president wants to see.
All right. So that was her comments in full. Let's just see 1 second here. So you can see when she finally got called on it by the press saying, well, wait a minute, they were only saying unlawful. She started to walk it back and she started to get upset and said, well, every order they've done is lawful. Well, then they've got nothing to worry about. But it is patently absurd to say that, as she repeatedly said, she said at least 3 times, I think, they're being asked to disobey lawful orders. No, nobody has suggested that, and that was not what was in that video. So she's lying, And if they suggested unlawful orders, and that's why I pointed that out at the beginning, they made one slightly political and from enemies within. That's where the suggestion comes from. They may have, not really. I'm trying to be as charitable as possible. They certainly didn't, even if they had, it doesn't come anywhere near the response it's gotten. We have found out that the members of Congress have called the Capitol Police. They have asked for an increased police presence and reported death threats over social media coming from the account of one Donald J. Trump. So he has been reported to the police, to the Capitol Police, for making death threats. I would assume that means, too, that he's been reported to Truth Social, which, if I recall, he gave up his majority stake in, so it is entirely possible he could lose his Truth Social account, which would be hilarious. That would be hilarious. Either way, at this point, it looks like, and good on the Dems for following the proper procedure, it's an absolute death threat. It is an absolute death threat. And the problem is that, and Pam Bondi, holy smoke, I'm curious as to how stupid she really is. She goes and repeats the names of all the people in that video. And she's not as stupid as she makes it look, which is smart for any press secretary to do, because she was clearly aware that they didn't say legal orders, because when she was pushed on it, and I can't believe it took as long as it did for someone to push on it, but they've cleared out. That's why they've cleared out the press corps, so that she's not going to get pushback when she lies. But when pushed on it, she was just like, well, all our orders are legal. She didn't say, yes, they did. So she knows they didn't. She knows they did not say disobey a legal order. They didn't say it. But she said they did, and she said that at least 3 times. Again, from what I can tell, I haven't counted. I sort of vaguely remember. So, and I don't want to have to listen to that again. This is, by all accounts, a dramatic escalation in the rhetoric between the White House and anybody, let alone Congress. And I think we're going to... We're going to see, Ms. Slotkin in particular said that she had heard from a number of active duty troops who were concerned about the legality of the strikes in the Caribbean, which are illegal, period, end of discussion. So, let me check the live chat, and like I said, we're going to have tonight on Downtime. It's going to be Lance and I was thinking we're going to try to keep it nice and light, but I have a feeling he's going to have a lot to say about this. Someone pointed out Trump is scared shitless. Yeah, I think that is. I think he's starting to realize one way or another, the Epstein files, at least in part, and enough to destroy him, is going to get out. I think we're probably never going to know everything he was up to, because they've deleted enough of that, but we're not going to need to. We're going to learn enough, I think. There's enough out there to end him. And so it's a question of when now, not if. And the way he knows that is because this was such an overwhelming loss in the House yesterday, and a lot of them actually still support Trump, but they know their constituents don't. The House does speak for the people, at least it's supposed to, and the fact that he got his ass handed to him like that means that the people who support him are dwindling in numbers, and those that are in the Department of Justice who helped hide information, every day that they try to keep this a secret, more people learn, because more people have to get involved in the cover-up. So we're gonna learn. Whether it happens even 10 years from now or 10 minutes from now, I don't know. the goal everybody's trying to do is make it as quick as possible, and he's trying to slow it down. But yeah, he's terrified. I think he's realized he's going to lose. It's a question of time. And he just wants to lose after, he dies of old age. So that's what he's trying to do. But I think he knows nothing's going to stop it now. So at any rate, he has managed to add something new to the story. My suspicion is these posts are actually illegal. It's illegal to threaten people in general, but let alone senators. I imagine there's a number of... Well, there we are. Just a reminder to start getting ready for downtime. We'll see. It is a staggering escalation in the language, and we'll see where it goes. We will have downtime with Commander Lance McMillan in about 1 hour. Thank you all so much for joining us. We are following this and a couple of other stories in the Discord, so if you want to learn more or see what the latest is, we've got it down there. And let's see. Oh, we do have... so it looks like Slotkin has... she has made a video response to the threats. I have not yet heard this, but she's a senator, so I don't mind putting it on unaired. At present, I don't think I'm going to be able to get the video in, so we'll just get the audio for you, and you can listen to her response to the threats from Donald Trump. Actually, you know what? I may be able to. No.
I'm Senator Alyssa Slotkin.
All right. Yep. So hopefully you guys heard that. I think you did. Let me.
I'm Senator Alyssa Slotkin, Senator from Michigan, former CIA officer. Earlier today, President Trump threatened myself and a number of other service and veteran lawmakers with arrest, trial, and death because he didn't agree with a video we put out this week. This really isn't about those of us who made the video. This is about who we are as Americans and how we're going to engage with people who we disagree with. I would hope that people of all backgrounds, Democrat, Republican, Independent, would agree that threatening death for people you disagree with is beyond the pale of who we are as Americans. I love this country. It has given me everything, everything. And I refuse to believe that this is the new normal. I refuse to believe that we're going to use fear and intimidation against people we disagree with. And I'm not going to be forced away from speaking up on behalf of my country. I swore an oath to the Constitution many times, most recently less than a year ago as a senator. To the Constitution, not to any one man, not to any one president. And I abide by that oath. For me, I believe in the power of this country and that we are better than our current politics represent. And I refuse to be intimidated out of defending the country I love.
That is the reply of Senator Alyssa Slotkin, who was the one who helped orchestrate and plan and put together the video, reminding service members that they did not need to follow illegal orders and that they would be supported, which prompted death threats from Donald Trump. So, let's see. Hold on a sec. We've got another. Yeah, perfect. All right. So what we're going to do is we're going to start preparing for tonight's show. It'll be in about an hour. In the meantime, Mowdy is live right now, and it looks like actually he's got 2 live, which I'm not sure how he's pulling that off, but we're going to send you all to him. Please do give him my best. I will try to stop in myself, but I'm going to be starting to get ready for downtime, which again will be in about an hour. So hope you guys enjoy Mowdy, and again, say hi to him for me, and we look forward to seeing you in about an hour for downtime. Good night.